here's a crazy fantasy booking question. Would you be okay with Cena beating Austin Theory for the Money in the Bank? And Cena toting around that briefcase?
I would, because he'd be gone. And whenever he did decide to cash it in, I mean, we know they blow it and fucking advertise it 6 weeks in advance. But it would be a surprise if he had it, because you wouldn't really know when he was coming back to cash it in.
Well, if you put it like this and Cena wins the Money in the Bank briefcase, theoretically, him being on a part-time schedule makes him that perfect, like, always behind Roman's shoulder kind of character, because you don't know when or where he's going to show up. Exactly. So the possibility of it could give you whatever you want. I just hope it's not Austin Theory, guys. I just really hope it's not.
So what is this? Because I see people split down the middle. Will, I have people like myself. I'm in the camp that I think Austin Theory is great, because I love Austin Theory. I think it's what do we always ask for? We want a fresh young face, somebody that they can build up. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so, like, with those two things, I'm like, cool, you know, because every week we're asking for somebody, like, let's get somebody new, somebody that's not been shoved down our throats. So what is it about Theory that's driving you, like, that's just not working?
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, man. What the fuck? Why would I ask you? Just answer the question.
I think there's a couple reasons why Theory's not ready to be the guy. Number one is age. If you look at where he came from, he did do some work on the indies. He came through with some guys. He did Rev Pro and some of that stuff. But when it boils down to it, he's still green in a lot of aspects. When you look at where Randy Orton was, Randy Orton came in as a third-generation star, having been in OVW, being groomed by Pritchard and Cornette when they were at OVW. So they had two of the greatest wrestling minds of that generation grooming him to get ready. Then he broke through and everything that went into it, okay? Then you look at Theory, who did a little bit of indies and then went into the Performance Center. Like, he's just not there yet. If you put the world,
my point is, what specifically is lacking?
My point is, if Randy Orton wasn't ready at 24 years old with his pedigree and his background, and as good as Randy Orton was, Austin Theory isn't as good as Randy Orton was at 24 years old.
But and I think that you're completely blind and not really paying attention to what's happening here. And the reason why Randy Orton wasn't ready is because he was doing drinking and doing drugs and not doing the right shit to be the world champion at the time behind the scenes. Had nothing to do with his character or his experience or anything like that as far as ring work. Austin Theory's indie run, I don't think you're giving that enough credit or credence either. He was the WXW champ and the Evolve champ for a very long time and went against a lot of your favorite guys right now that are top guys in the business right now that he did pretty long programs with, from Riddle, Keith Lee, all these guys. He did programs with them and came out on top and really shit on all of them on the mic. If I'm being 100% honest, made all of them look like rookies on the mic when he was 20 something years old. He's ready. We are just so used to WWE just shitting shit out and fast tracking everybody that we don't give them credit for what they've done or what they can do, because they get boxed into this WWE style. We have not seen the real Austin Theory yet. We have not seen what he's capable of. I've been saying, how long have I been saying this to y'all, Kyle?
Yeah,
about what he is on the mic and everything. Like, we haven't seen it yet. He's definitely ready. It's just, are they going to let the handcuffs off a little bit and let him show what he can do for real? Or is it going to be, like you said, just in this box?
That's what I was going to say. Like, if there's anything lacking, I don't think it's talent. I think that they don't have like a well-established character for him outside of, I take selfies. You know what I mean? Like, that's
so if you draft a quarterback in the second round, there's a risk that he has to start every game his rookie year, but there's also a good chance you can put him behind somebody that can teach him and develop him. So in a year or two, he won't be a bust. Like, this is my point with Theory. Like, he's not, you take away, okay, he's a WWE guy now. He's in WWE. He's got to be a WWE guy. Let him have a couple successful years being a mid-card champion, being a guy on the road, living the life of what it means to be on the biggest stage of all.
Will, can I ask you for a more direct,
that's not everybody's path.
But I mean, if I could ask you, Will, what directly needs to be improved? Like, all you're saying is he just needs to be in the company longer. But I mean, do you think it's his promo skills? Do you think it's his in-ring ability? What is it specifically in your eyes that's lacking about him?
Experience.
So
what
that's
that? That's my thing. Is that experience is what? That doesn't necessarily mean anything. Because if that's the case, like your quarterback analogy, look at Joe Burrow.
Brock Lesnar wasn't.
No. But Joe Burrow was also he was also a first round draft pick.
Tom Brady, was in his sophomore year in the NFL. When he started for the Pats and won his first Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying.
He was also a 7th round draft pick. And if you look at the draft in 01, Kyle, I don't care who the fuck you were. Nobody knew who Tom Brady was in 01.
Then that's an argument. You're making an argument for theory right now.
Exactly.
That's an argument for theory. That's the thing.
My point is Theory he's not a first round draft pick material, but he's also not 7th round either. He's somewhere in between.
What makes him what's dropping him down? You're just saying he needs time.
He hasn't shown anything since he's been on the biggest stage of them all. He hasn't shown that he can perform at the biggest stage for more than 6 months at a time.
Well, clearly they think he has shown it because look at the push he's gotten the last 8 months and who they put him with McMahon and not anyone, not Riddle or not any of these other guys.
If Paul Heyman, who is one of the best minds in the business, says Austin Theory is going to be great but isn't ready yet, I don't see why there's any argument. That's my point. If Paul Heyman is one of the greatest minds in the business, he's not ready yet.
The argument is, this is my thing why I hate experience and potential arguments. How the fuck do you get experience, Will, if you don't do anything?
When I wanted to be a chef,
how can he get experience being a champ if he doesn't get a shot at being the champ? I hate the potential and experience argument. You get experience and you realize your potential when you do the thing you're supposed to do. When you're
his first title reign in WWE was his U.S. title match. When he got the U.S. title, he didn't hold gold in NXT. He didn't hold gold in any house shows in the Performance Center. His first title reign on the biggest show of them all was one of the most prestigious titles in the business. Give it to him for more than 90 days. That's what I'm talking about.
I don't disagree with any of that. I'm agreeing with you up to a certain extent.
If he's not ready to hold your mid-card title for more than 90 days, he's not ready to hold your championship.
What if that's not why he's not holding it? What if it's the reason why we took it off of you is we have bigger plans for you? Not that it wasn't you're not ready for this.
Money in the Bank not a mid-card title? Like it's probably
the money in the bank has to be looked at like a title. It is a prominent spot on television every week, sometimes multiple times a week. Also, you got to think about it at house shows. Like the Money in the Bank title, the Money in the Bank has to be considered one of the main titles. Like it has to be because they don't just put it on anybody, and if they do, they quickly take it away from them. Granted, you can say it was on Otis and it was on, they did have big plans for Mr. Kennedy, but also, like Damian Sandow and stuff. So, but the bulk of everybody that's held Money in the Bank have gone on to do bigger and better things.
That's my argument, against his experience. Or he's saying, to me, I look at the Money in the Bank title as their number one mid-card title. It gets, like you said, it has more credibility.
It takes you straight to the world title.
Right.
You could fight for the Intercontinental belt on and off all you want, and you know what it might lead you to? It might lead you to some tag titles. You could do the same thing with that US title. No mid-card title outside of Money in the Bank is a guaranteed shot or guaranteed association with the world title. Like that is the next step unless they get cold feet like they did most recently with Otis. But I do not think Austin Theory is Otis. Not for a second.
That's my argument, is that this is them preparing him to put the rocket on him to get him that experience that you're talking about. Because think about CM Punk, Edge, Ziggler, all these guys that we look at, the Money in the Bank was their jump off point to being who they are.
Get him here and then let him go for another year and then give him the belt. So give him another year of experience and then give him the belt. So we just, in the last 20 minutes, just kind of agreed that that's what needs to happen.
I was saying that to you the whole time that I was agreeing with you.
Yeah, and also, and there you go. So you just contradicted yourself because you started this with saying I don't like him with that Money in the Bank, and now you're finishing it agreeing that Money in the Bank is what's giving him the experience that you want him to have. Thank you, Will. Thank you for agreeing with us. We appreciate that, man.
It took us a while to run the race, but we finished.
That's the most fucked up, twisted way ever, Kyle. To twist what I just said.
We make it all about us, even though our guests are part of us. We still have to make it about us.
Oh man, I'm so happy to be fighting on my show again. Fuck.